The Night of the Moth DLC is finally here, and there's plenty of new features you should know about. The good news is, I compiled all the major points in this Essentials guide. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Finally, the Winter DLC arrived for 76. There's new events, lots of quality of life improvements, a new season, and even plenty of new rewards to farm for with the holiday Scorched. But before we get there, let me tell you about new features that got delayed and are no longer coming in 2021, just to save you the disappointment and further questions later. So to start with, the initially announced Tales from the Stars legend is still a mystery to us all, and the Invaders from Beyond event got postponed to 2022. There's plenty of stuff in the game files already, but it's nowhere close to be completed yet. So we have to wait a bit longer for the Zetans. As for the pet system, it got also pushed to a future update. It got bluntly cut off from the latest content roadmap, but in the game files there's lots of stuff. It seems like a Doberman will be the first pet. There's even dialogues and interactions already. Now, the 4 stars legendary system was still part of the latest Winter DLC poster, but it's not coming yet either. Part of it was live shortly on the public test, but Bethesda didn't take long to take it down, and it's still developing the system, so nope, it's not coming. Lastly, the corpse highlights were supposed to come too, but due to major bugs, Bethesda decided to cut it off, as the community manager Lady Devon explained. So yeah, these are the 5 announced features that many of you have been waiting for, but sadly, they're still in the works. Alright, now let's jump into the Essentials guide, starting with a new main menu. The Night of the Moth DLC is introducing a new main menu, as it usually happens with every DLC. It's time to say goodbye to the standard main menu, for the time being at least. I'm sure it will return at some point in the future. So Bethesda added a very dark and chanting song, as if the Cult of the Mothman was singing or professing a ritual. Now, when it comes to the new cinematics, most of them are not related to the new content or the Cult of the Mothman at all, so I'm not sure what was the criteria for the selection of these places. Maybe it was done randomly, for all we know. If you exclude the first location, Point Pleasant Streets, there is really no connection to this DLC. We have the Enclave Research Facility, the Contamination Showers, then the Federal Disposal Site at the very south of the map, and some random sunset at the forest region. Well, at least it's a refreshing, gloomy change, right? Okay, with the obvious main menu change out of the way, let's talk about the star of this DLC, the new seasonal event, Mothman Equinox. It's a very dynamic and fun event to do, and the first edition should be live for 2 weeks exactly, from December 8 until the 21. The Mothman Equinox starts every fixed hour at Point Pleasant. It's run by a new sub-faction, the Alighted, and it features many different objectives, such as killing enemies, destroying totems, delivering blood, or even defending pyres from enemy waves. I have already made a complete guide with everything you need to know, including all event stages, new rewards, lore locations, and even some tips and strategies. So if you want to learn this event in depth, you know what to do, because in here I'm just providing the very basics. If you are wondering why should you farm this event, well, there's plenty of new unique items you can collect, including this awesome Mothman throne for your camp, or this sick Carnate helmet. Oh gosh, I really hope I get this one. There are also 3 new cultist costumes to collect, including the new NPC robes with the Wise Mothman symbol in the chest. You can also get this cocoon backpack skin, looks very strange, but still it's a cultist thing, and a new Vengeful Mothman beer stain. With 3 pyres defended, here are the chances for each reward to drop. Data mined by Maddokgrot. It's basically 11% chance per item per completed event. This event comes with 6 lore books too, but to access the lore inside of them, you need to complete many events. Here's the respective requirements for each book. To unlock them all, you need 44 completions, as the data miner Garust retrieved. There's also an Easter egg, which I will talk about in the very last point of this video due to major spoilers. Well then, let's keep going. While the Mothman Equinox is live, in this case from December 8 until the 21, you can also participate in another event related to the cult of the Mothman. Bethesda created these Cultist High Priests. They always spawn as legendary and follow the same system as treasure hunters, as the quest designer Coral already confirmed, which means these priests can spawn anywhere in the world really, among other enemies, just not inside of instanced areas. When one spawns, they will mind control any nearby enemies or allies, which creates this pink glow with moths flying around their bodies. This effect really makes it easy to tell if a priest is around or not. Now the question is, what do they drop? Not much, to be honest with you. They drop these Cultist High Priest packs, but the rewards list for those are still very scarce. Maybe in the future Bethesda will add more Mothman related items, but for now, all you can get is basically their robes, the Cultist Elder helmet and clothes. There's another rare item you can have, the perfect Mothman eggs. They are untradeable rare items. There's only a 5% chance to loot one per pack. I opened some 25 packs and I never even got one, so it seems to be quite rare. Anyway, if you are wondering what is it for, it's related to an Easter egg and I will explore it in the last topic, so hold on tight until then. Zorbo's Revenge is the name of Season 7, now live with Update 32, and it should end on March 8 if everything goes according to plan. It's a space sci-fi focused season with a hint of disappointment. I'm probably not supposed to give my opinion here, since I already did in my Season 7 overview, where I go over the main changes and I show 25 new item displays as well as my thoughts. So let's cut this point short. There's some exciting new things coming, yes, like the slot machine or the Order of Mystery building set, but overall most new rewards are either currencies, consumables, player icons, the same power armor skin over and over, or reskins, or variations of existing items. No joke, just check it out and you will soon realize what I did. But then again, it's free goodies, so it could definitely be worse, I suppose. As for the Fallout 1st rewards, there's this Jackalope plushie coming, an absolute adorable entry, I must say, as well as this laser grid enclave door. There might be more, but at the time I'm recording this, there's nothing on the website yet, so I can tell for sure. Dive into Zorbo's Revenge and happy farming, everyone! Talking about new rewards, Bethesda added plenty of new things to the holiday gifts, coming live once again with the Holiday Scorched event starting on December 21, according to the community calendar. There is no ending date though, so stay tuned for more, I guess. Just like Season 7, I also made a complete overview with all the 18 new rewards, so you guys can check everything you can get from holiday gifts in 2021. The list includes a vintage water cooling machine which produces purified water, as well as 2 creative red rocket lights, new curtains, new barbed wire fences, a wall fan, a new plushie, and so much more. There's also a few old nuclear winter rewards which were channeled to the gifts system, such as the blue camo paints for the 44 pistol and power armors. Lastly, I would say happy farming again, but with an exchange, I don't think you will be too happy. With Update 32, Bethesda is changing the way Ultracite veins have worked since always. They used to have a slight chance to spawn Scorched per mined Ultracite vein. As such, fisher farming used to be one of the most effective ways to farm Holiday Scorched, but sadly, these days are now over. With this change, Ultracite veins no longer spawn any enemies once they are mined. Sure, you can still farm fishers, but now it's a one-time run and that's it. There are no enemy respawns from the Ultracite nodes anymore. Yeah. Now, if you are wondering why did Bethesda went forward with such a change, well, there is no official statement, but this sort of fix comes to put an end to multiple exploits related to Ultracite ore, so I believe that was the reason behind it. It was the easiest fix for them. Now let's check the public event system updates. There's a lot of changes with update 32, but I will try my best to make it simple for you guys. To be honest, there are 6 main things you need to know, and that's pretty much it. First of all, public events now work based on in real life clocks, and one will start every fixed 20 minutes, like fixed hour, then 1 hour in 20 minutes, then 1 hour in 40 minutes, and repeat. It's unknown how it used to work before exactly. It's probably why they decided to change it now, to make things more transparent and easy to understand. Thumbs up to them, by the way. Another change is that public events now spawn at random, and the same event cannot spawn twice in a row. Before, there was a specific order, but it's also not known which type of criteria there used to be. The 5th change is about public events started by players like Scorched Earth or a Colossal Problem. These do not interfere with the global cooldown system or rules. Lastly, seasonal events, which always start on the fixed hour, have priority. Examples are Midweek, Fastnacht Day, or even the Mothman Equinox now. When a seasonal event is active, no other public event will start on the fixed hour. I think these changes are great. They surely improve the public event system. Let's just hope now we can find more events than before. Another change to public events is related to their map information. Bethesda wanted to expand the provided details per public event, so they added a new section to the right side where the highlight rewards will be displayed. Here's a comparison between patch 31 and 32, so you can see the difference clearly. Here are a few examples too of how public events look like in the map. The rewards display can range from currencies to rare plans or even hidden buffs depending on the event. For example, the Mothman Equinox has a hidden buff because it's not something that a lot of players know unless you watch videos or check wiki. Otherwise, it's a bit difficult to know it's there. This is definitely another great change. It works like a guiding hand to new and returning players. So that's another really good change in my view. Okay, this next point is extensive and I could make an entire video just about it, so for the sake of this guide, let me put my simplify hat on. Bethesda changed 7 public events. There's even a full page of patch notes about it, as you can see, but all these changes have 2 things in common. And that's what you should know without going into details. First of all these changes are minor, like really small. You can hardly even notice if you don't know beforehand. Secondly, they all share the same objective: to make the changed event easier or shorter, or both at once. All with the purpose of fitting the new 20-minute spawns. For example, the events line in the sand and radiation rumble used to be too long for this 20 minutes meta, so Bethesda made them a couple minutes shorter. And events like Tea Time and Campfire Tales now have more durable event items, therefore making it more difficult to fail. Before, they could easily fail, like Tea Time, the pipes could get destroyed very easily, and for the Tales, the campfire was literally going down very quickly if you didn't add wood frequently. Overall, they rebalanced many public events to ensure the 20-minute spawns can work smoothly without one event preventing the next from spawning. Now it's time to talk about the major life improvements with update 32, starting with area looting or nearby corpse looting as Bethesda calls it. Now every time you kill more than one enemy, you can choose to loot all the nearby corpses at once by accessing this new option called Nearby Corpses. Then you have plenty of choices. You can use the interface to check and loot all the items at once or pick up only the ones you want. Alternatively, you can select corpse by corpse and loot it individually through the interface. Now keep in mind this system only includes corpses within 30 meters. That's the limit of the radius. How do I know this? Well, I made a line of dead ghouls, as you can see, and eventually I deducted its 30 meters because the max distance for me was always 29 meters. I mean, probably because 30 is too difficult to achieve. Anyway, when you are in wide areas, you might want to double check for unlooted corpses. Like, for example, at Radiation Rumble, it's unlikely to get every single corpse in just one go. Keep in mind that even after all the fixes for area looting on the public test, this system is still very buggy. I tested many times and in my last attempts, piles still didn't work very well. Ash, goo and meat piles seem to be the main problem. For example, here at Radiation Rumble, these meat piles did not stack with the rest of the bodies when I tried to loot everything. Also, in this other test, there were 5 bodies or corpses in total, but only 3 showed up at first. Then I tried to loot again and 4 corpses appeared. One more try, and finally the 5 bodies showed up. With every attempt, a different result while doing the same thing. Very, very magical, I would say. Yeah, I think this is enough proof the system is quite buggy still. So watch out if you kill legendaries, best to double check manually before you move on. Lastly, at public events, it's not a very good idea to just loot everything because then you will end up so over encumbered that you will have to spend like 5 minutes sorting your inventory later on, and that's just not a very pleasant experience. So think twice before looting everything, like hundreds of items. Just a word of advice. One of the most useful changes with Update 32 is the legendary sharing feature. Now, you no longer need to tag legendary enemies to access their loot. No, that is long gone. You just need to be nearby and that's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Seriously, look at that. My friend Maddokgrot killed this priest on his own and I could fully loot the body, even though we were not in a team or anything. Here's another example at Fastnacht Day. I was stealthy in the bushes, waiting for people to kill the legendary slot. It was even white name for me, and all the same, I got the loot. I tested a lot, and this feature always worked as it's supposed to, so I do believe it's not buggy, at least not very much. But just in case, try to tag stuff as before. Better safer than sorry. Another interesting change is about teams. Now, whenever you play close to your teammates, you receive 50% of the original experience you would if you killed that specific enemy yourself. I think that's a clever explanation on how the system works. This means that most of your missed kills will now translate into experience if you do events with a full team. Anyway, just to show you guys how much experience you can get for real, here are some tests. If I kill these level 60 glowing ghouls, I get 271 experience per kill. However, if I do not touch them, but my teammate kills them, I receive 136 experience, which is exactly half of what I get if I tag or kill the same enemy. Remember? 50% exactly. I also tested on super mutants. For level 75, I get 312 experience, but if my teammate kills the same type of mob, I receive 156. Exactly half once again. Here's the last test for level 60 mutants. Passively, I get 128 experience, and when I kill it myself, I get double. What a surprise! 256 experience. Well, this now means power leveling is a thing in 76. Low characters can just play alongside high levels and earn massive amounts of experience without doing a thing. They just have to be close by, and that's it. Level up. More life improvements. Well, you can now customize your Pipboy interface color and your flashlight color too. There's an extensive range of new options under display in the game options, all regarding the Pipboy colors. You can basically mix the bars to get the exact color you're looking for, but there are a few things to have in mind. First of all, bright and vivid colors work the best. They contrast with the black backgrounds, therefore they make things easier to see and read. In contrast, we have the dark colors or black. Please don't torture yourself by choosing those, or you might end up with this. Emptiness, darkness, just pure black. I feel like white works the best. I have been playing with white for weeks now, and I simply love it. Anyway, keep in mind that once you change the Pipboy colors, this change is global, it's for everyone. It's like installing a mod. It's not only your Pipboy colors that change, everyone's colors will change to the one you choose. But only you can see such changes as obviously. It's a rather strange feature if you ask me. I mean, can you imagine 15 people doing a queen with pink Pipboy lights? It sounds very unrealistic and so not like Fallout. Anyway, let's keep moving. The ammo spawn rules have changed too with update 32. They can now spawn in the world depending on what weapon you are using when you loot ammo containers or when you kill enemies. It's as if Bethesda extended the daily ops rule where every kill drops ammo for your equipped weapon, except in the world outside of operations it's not a 100% chance. I don't know the chance exactly, but it's not that high. I even saw a dev's comment weeks ago about how it depends on your character's level. Below level 50 it's quite high, but then above level 50 it's not as high. But still, we don't have exact numbers or percentages. I often found ammo for my gauss shotgun while farming though, so I think it's like 50-50 or something alike. It's definitely a great chance, I can tell you that much. I think this one will save you a lot of time by sparing you from farming for ammo all the time, so it's definitely a great change. This next quality of life point is something the community has been asking for a very long time. Update 32 has introduced the Keyring, a new inventory entry under Misc, which basically stacks up all your own keys. Also, any future keys you loot will end up there, not directly under Misc as it used to before. Now, to access your keys, you must expand the Keyring entry. This is a very special entry because it cannot be dropped or inspected. It doesn't even have a display image or anything. It's like a small divider for your inventory and that's it. It's pretty anti-chaos, that's for sure, so just for that, I think it's a great addition to the game. Now, Bethesda added a new category to the building mode, and I mean it literally. The tab is called New, but there is a strange rule attached to it. The new tab only shows up when the player learns a new plan for the current play session. It's the same rules of the new tab in your inventory, except that it doesn't go away when it's empty. The building mode one does though, plus it's super buggy. In here I learned several new holiday gift plans, but only the Nuka-Cola rag appeared there. The rest never showed up. I even tried several times. I went back and forth to other locations, came back to the camp, and nothing changed. So yeah, it's best to stick to the standard tabs unless you want to feel you have gone crazy. Alright everyone, did you know we have a new radio channel? That's right, the pirate radio is a refreshing idea. It comes with dozens of tracks, but this radio is not anything usual. It's divided into three main things: soundtracks like Atomic Shop songs, for example. Then we have in-game advertisements like this one about the Porta Dinner benefits. Listen up.
Wow, Billy, you can find a Porta Diner guaranteed fresh pie at your neighborhood Red Rocket and other fine establishments.
There are also several podcast or audiobook tracks about Zorbo, so you can even learn more about the ongoing season by listening to stories, lore, and all sorts of conversations related to Zorbo's revenge. I really think you should listen to it at least for a few days if you are interested to know more about his character, his background, his story, and so on.
The truth is, Dr. Zorbo, I know more about you than you would ever like me to know. What is this? I can hardly... Photographs.
The next change is a very extensive one. I don't want to go too deep here since I already published dozens of tests and this other overview about the self-explosive damage changes. Feel free to check it out if you want to learn more. Now, Bethesda changed the way explosive perks affect self-damage. As a result, most explosive sources no longer hurt players with endgame gear. By that I mean physical defense about 400 and fireproof rank 3 equipped. If you play that way, then here are some changes you will be happy to know about. While as solo, all no elemental grenades and mines no longer deal physical damage to you. Car explosions are now fully nullified, and all explosive weapons except launchers can no longer hurt you. It's safe to use now. No more self-damage. However, missile launchers still can hurt you. Not much though, as shown, but it's a little bit like tickling, I would say. Willy the Fat Man is still a danger to society. It still does loads of damage to anything, really. The same can be said about explosive legacy weapons. I tested this specific one, a legacy Gatling Plasma, and I can easily kill myself if I shoot close range. So watch out, legacy users, you will still go down very easily even though explosive damage to yourself has gone down dramatically. We are almost at the end of this guide, and now let me tell you about a brand new buff called the True Wisdom of the Mothman. How to get it though? Very simple. After completing the new Mothman Equinox event, a wise Mothman will appear at the center of the roof. There's no interaction button, I know, but if you click your interaction button all the same, you will receive a stealthy buff. It's no more, no less than 15% experience gain for 1 hour. That's pretty cool, no? It even stacks with other experience gain buffs, so don't play blind here. This is basically an upgrade to the old 5% Wisdom of the Mothman buff from the Path of Enlightenment event, but do not confuse it with it, because it's not the same buff. Even if you did not take part of the Equinox event, you can still come by and get the buff, since this friendly Mothman remains in place for some 10 minutes after the event is done. This detail was also confirmed by the devs. Lastly, I have a huge spoiler to share, and I'm only adding it here because otherwise you might be left in the dark. There's not much information about the Cradle of Pretenders just yet. Anyway, if you don't want to spoil yourself, go ahead and jump to the outro or watch something else. Now, the Cradle of Pretenders is a new asset placed at Point Pleasant during the Mothman Equinox. What is it, and what is it for though? Well, in a way this item is quite self-explanatory. It has Mothman eggs inside, so yeah, it's like an egg deposit. But not for all eggs, it only accepts the new rare perfect Mothman eggs dropped by the Cultist packs. Yeah, the ones with a 5% chance to drop. It's like an Easter egg in the shape of an offering, really. However, this offering doesn't seem to do much when it comes to the event itself. The only discovered effect so far is about the Mothman hatchling spawning during the defense stage, as shared by Coffee888. Maybe it's like 1 hatchling per 1 perfect egg offered, but this is just me speculating, I have no idea, but it would make sense, that's what I mean. Without an offering though, only adult Mothman will spawn, just to make it clear. And that's it, that's how it works. It's very, very simple. These are all the main new features and changes live with the Night of the Moth DLC, if we can call that. I mean, it's probably the shortest DLC we ever got, to be fair. But then again, there may be more changes and stealthy stuff, judging on how Bethesda often changes stuff which are not part of the patch notes. But as usual, I will be covering any other meaningful changes as we go. In general, this update brought lots of great improvements, but very little new content. It's supposed to be a DLC, right? But the only brand new things are the 2 events, and they are not even permanent, guys. They are seasonal, only there for 2 weeks, at least for the time being. We have a new season, yes, but it's not that great. And then we have some new rewards for the holiday Scorched, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is just quality of life improvements and changes to existing content. Way too many things got pushed into 2022. Let's hope it will be a better year. Either way, that's everything for now. I hope I could keep you up to date with everything Fallout 76. Thanks for watching. My name is Marta Branco, and I will see you all very, very soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.